Y'all, Tiger King. Okay, so y'all gonna have to work with me through this video because there are so many inner complexities of this documentary slash series that I'm probably gonna low-key be all over the place. But if you watched it, you gonna understand why. First of all, I wanna say to Netflix, to the directors, I could honestly say this is probably one of the best documentaries I've seen in such a long time. All of my Scandal fans, y'all, I swear to gosh, every episode ended like an episode of Scandal. You remember how, like, when Scandal was first on, every time it ended, you was like, bitch, what? Bitch, huh? Bitch, who? Like, it was every fucking time we left one episode and we go into the next one. It's just like, and even not just at the end of the episodes, it's just stuff that you're just like, what? I'm gonna tell y'all how intrigued I was. I literally got up out of bed at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I had to go to the bathroom. Went to the bathroom and I was like, you know what? Normally I would go back to bed. I was like, I'm gonna just sit here. I was probably gonna roll up or something. And I just turned it on and I seen the first thing that popped up when I hit Netflix was the Tiger King thing. So I'm like, all right, cool, let me watch it. Do y'all know I binge watched that whole thing? And I was so mad when it was over. I was so happy when I first started watching it because I'm like, yo, it's like 7 episodes. This is awesome. But by the time I got to the end, I was so sad. Like, I'm so sad now that it's over. Like, I'm so upset that, like, I binge watched it the way I did, but I'm not at the same time. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, Tiger King pretty much is really based about more so the main person in this thing is Joe Exotic, okay? Joe Exotic is a white gay man with a blonde mullet from Oklahoma who moved to Florida who loves big cats. He's been around cats his whole life. And it's talking about how he had like a little preservation and then how it grew into a really big zoo and pretty much how, you know, the inner workings of the zoo, the different relationships that he has and stuff like that, the inner workings of big cats being within the country period and the people who run the facilities like in the zoos and stuff behind them and stuff. So it was very interesting from that standpoint. Now the thing with this documentary is that we had a lot of, my gosh, it was like Clue. Every 2 seconds you got a new person popping up like, who's you? And then they playing a huge role into it. It's just so many people. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the main people. So we got Joe Exotic, like I said. The next most important person that we have is Carol Barrett, something like that. I don't know, Carol something. We don't even care about what her name is. And Carol is a woman who pretty much, she says that she runs a big cat reservation and that she gets on people like Joe and other people who own, you know, big cats and stuff like that because they're abusing the animals and they need space. But you want to know what, Big Shorty? You doing the exact same thing. From the very beginning, I didn't fall from her shit. From the very beginning, when they showed her wherever it is that she had, I thought that she was going to say when she was making her point that she rescues these big cats from these places, rehabilitates them, and then lets them back out into the wild. She never said she left them back into the wild. She keeps them where they are until they die. You're doing the exact same thing. And that's what I really want people to understand. It's how you can think you so self-righteous, but you're doing the exact same thing that you're pointing the finger at other people doing, girl. You're doing the exact same thing. I was really thoroughly boggled as to how she thinks she's really doing anything that much differently when she really wasn't. And my good sis, Miss Carol, has a whole daggone history that we're going to touch on about her. Okay, so then some other players that we got here. So like I said, Joe Exotic is, you know, the main person, but we talk to other people who are within like the big cat community. So we got Dr. Antle. Dr. Antle thinks he's that nigga. He really does. He thinks he that nigga. He come on to the scene when they first start. Like, where you want me to say, no, it's gonna be better if you do it this way. That's gonna be better if you do it that way. Now, Dr. Antle, he, you know, is kind of a big, like, celebrity big cat person, kind of like Joe Exotic. He's been on a few different shows and stuff like that, and he has this really, really big, huge conservation. It's much bigger and nicer than Joe Exotic's is. And we're gonna get into him and all of his nonsense, okay? So we're gonna try to piece this together as much as possible, all right? So we pretty much start off. So the basis of this, outside of Joe Exotic, is pretty much the fact that the relationship and the inner workings between Carol and Joe. A lot of it has to do with that right there, Carol and Joe. Carol, of course, is for saving the big cats and not putting them in cages and stuff. Joe Exotic, on the other hand, he doesn't feel like he's doing anything wrong. And so they have like a little feud. Well, not a little feud. This is a huge feud. They're going back and forth. Joe Exotic pretty much filmed everything it is that he did. He filmed everything that he did. And to the point where they end up bringing in this guy, I can't think his name right now, but one of them, like a producer guy, and he pretty much films Joe to try to shoot for a reality show. Like somebody said on another review, you didn't need a producer for that. All you had to do is turn on the camera, and my gosh, that would have been TV gold, point blank, period. It don't even matter. I am not gonna lie. Joe Exotic is a lot of things, but entertaining is one of the main things that man is. It's crazy. So we talk about Joe, and we go into Joe's life and Joe's personal life too. Joe is married to not one but two men. By the end of the damn series, he done had a third man by the end of the damn series. Okay, so we talk a little bit. We don't get into that. We get into that a little bit later about the inner workings of his marriage and relationship or whatever. I want to point out the fact that not only is he married to two men, but these are very young men. That's what I wanted to say. They're very young. Very young. Joe Exotic gotta be in like his 40s. These boys was like fresh out of high school. Like 19, 21, 22, something like that, okay? So that's that. So pretty much we are dealing with actually let's stay on the spouses for a second, okay? The way we find out about Joe being married to two different men is because while we're talking to Dr. Ansel, somebody brings up the fact that Dr. Ansel used to work with a guy. I cannot think of his name either because I ain't got my notes in front of me, but another guy who they used to call him like the Scarface or whatever, like he in Miami or whatever. He had went to jail for a long time for moving drugs and all this other shit. And how them two were really, really, really good friends and stuff like that. And they go and visit the guy in Florida. And the guy in Florida tells us, about how Dr. Ansel, he has like 2-3 wives. Like, that's what I'm more interested in. And we got another guy who says, oh, I told him when I got here, I don't care about how you run these animals. How you run them women? Girl, I told you it gets deep. Dr. Ansel, he's pretty much running a cult. That's what's going on. He is, for lack of a better word, it's kind of not surviving R. Kelly. It's literally surviving Dr. Ansel, surviving the Big Cat Plantation. That's what's going on there because he is finding girls, young girls who are, again, fresh out of high school, okay? Bringing them to this little reserve, making it so that this is all that they do. No time off, no breaks, no nothing. This is your world 24/7. And eventually they become his girlfriends. So Dr. Ansel has about 3 different girlfriends. We end up meeting one of the young women who had worked for him when she was like a teenager too. And she takes us through how all of the different things that he does. How you change your name. If anything about abuse and psychology and that type of stuff, one of the first things that they try to do is take away your identity. That would be your name, okay? How they would take away your name, how they slept in like barnyards, literally, with cockroaches everywhere, how they only got paid, I think, $100 a week or something like that. But my main problem with all of this is the exploitation of women that he was doing. Yes, I feel terrible for the cats. That is terrible. And that's the bigger issue that we're dealing with in this documentary. But I really need somebody to go and do more research into what the fuck is going on over there. Because there is a lot of shady shit going on at Mr. Dr. Ansel's. I think at the end of the documentary, they said that somebody ran in his shit. I hope so. Because that's some trifling shit that's going on there. Specifically what he's doing with the women. And I know women are grown, they can make their own decision. But the fact that you are purposefully targeting young girls and pretty much making it so that this is their entire life, that's a form of abuse. And somebody needs to go check on him. Period. Okay? So then, okay, so yeah, I want talking about that. Oh, also, okay, fuck it. We gonna talk about Joe Exotic's relationship too. Okay, we just gonna go down the relationship span before we get into that. Everything else. Joe, like I said, he has two husbands. The first one, he met when he was pretty young, stuff like that, real young. They got together. Then one day, his other husband, I think his name was Travis. Travis comes along and he joins the park, and I've taught Joe Exotic, gets attracted to him, and then some way somehow they're in the throuple. It gets to the point where Travis pretty much kind of comes like the favorite a little bit and stuff like that. At the end of the documentary, we come to find out, according to everybody, that none of these men were gay, except Joe Exotic. Travis wasn't gay, and the other guy was not gay either. That both of them were fucking all of the women that were in the resort. I mean, not, that worked for the park. And the real reason why these men stuck around and dealt with Joe is because he fed their appetite as far as money and fed their drug habit. They were both on meth. Now, if you see the first boyfriend, you could tell that he's on meth because of the meth mouth, as they say down there. Period. The meth mouth. Travis, on the other hand, Travis was very isolated. He wasn't really allowed to go nowhere. Had to pretty much stay where it was that he stayed, and unfortunately, Travis killed himself. He killed himself. I'm still not sure if it was an accidental thing. It kind of sort of sounds like it was an accident the way that the campaign manager explains it. Campaign manager, just a side note, Joe Exotic ran for both president and governor of Florida. Child, that's a whole nother situation. But yeah, what happened was that it's literally on video, not of him killing himself, but of like everybody in the room. You can see the campaign manager, he's like talking to somebody. He said he was standing directly underneath the camera, and he said, he was telling me, about how sad and bad he was feeling. And then she was like, he said Travis will always keep this gun around, right? He will always have this gun. Ooh, that's something I'm going to touch on too in a second. He will always have this gun. He said, and he will always go around and be like, boom, I'm gonna shoot you, motherfucker. He said, I would wake up and he would do that to me. He said, so when we were standing there, he did it again. He said, boom, I'll kill you, motherfucker. He said, I said, don't do that. He said, oh my gosh, ain't nothing in here. Look. And he pop. He shot his own self. And it caught like the campaign manager reaction. He was just like, and you could tell he was in dead ass shock. And that was so tragic, man. That's so tragic. Joe Exotic didn't take that very well. He went into a really, really bad deep hole. But literally 2 months later, you see him. He's getting ready for a date with another young man, another very young man who literally, he said that when he left with him on that date, that little boy, and I'm sorry, I am calling him little boy, did not go back home. Joe Exotic has a lot of issues. He does. He has a lot of issues. And that's one of them. Okay, so that's the relationship part on Joe. Let's talk about the relationship with Carol. I'm gonna say allegedly because this little sneaky bitch, she'll try to fucking sue me. So I'm gonna say allegedly. I believe the allegations of Carol having something to do with the disappearance of her husband, and I don't give a fuck what she say. So come to find out, Miss Carol has been talking all of this shit about everybody else, right? And one thing that Joe does to bother her and to irk her is he goes on Facebook and he makes all of these videos. Now I'm gonna say this before I get into the relationship part about Carol. Let me say this. Joe was doing some of that shit was hilarious, but it was very disturbing at the same time. When he had that little doll of her and said, this is what I would do, and shot her, like not her, but shot the blow up doll. And when he was blowing up stuff that was her face is on it and blowing it up, that really shows me, sorry to do a whole social sidestep, but this fucking documentary shows the problems with guns in America, the fucking obsession with guns, the amount of guns that I seen in the first episode alone. I understand that we're in Florida. It was fucking ridiculous. The type of guns that he fucking had, the explosive that he had, that shit was fucking ridiculous. And it's why we have the problem that we have now with school fucking shootings, because y'all let any and everybody get any type of fucking gun that they want. I was literally looking like, bro, are y'all even allowed to have those type of guns? Why do y'all have that type of guns? Like this, it just doesn't make any sense. So that was something that stuck out to me. But back to Carol. Carol want to go around talking about what everybody's doing. Like I said, so Joe loves to make these videos, antagonizing her. Also, Joe is a country star. I really need y'all to go and look at his stuff. When I'm telling you, y'all will get the best kiki of y'all whole fucking lives. It's fucking amazing. And they kept sprinkling his little videos throughout. So one of them is called Here Kitty Kitty, where he is literally showing somebody who I lie to you not look just like Carol. She looked just like Carol, feeding like meat to like the lions and tigers or whatever. And it's supposed to be her husband. So let me tell y'all. So we find out about Carol's backstory. Carol is currently married, right? But before that, when she was, I think maybe 17, she said she got married because she had like a really bad home life. She ran away, got married to this guy, had a baby. The relationship was real abusive. So one night when she had left out on this man, she was walking up and down the street and she was crying. And this man kept pulling up back and forth, and trying to talk to her, and she didn't want to be bothered. So then he pulled up again one more time and he had the gun on the seat and said, look, you could hold it towards me the whole night. And that's what happened. This man, oh Lord Jesus, I wish I could remember his name right now. But this man just so happened to not only have a wife and kids, but he was a millionaire. Okay? And also I want to put it out there that he was, I think, like 20 or 22 years her senior. Okay, all right, okay. So this man decided once he found Carol that he was going to leave his wife and he was going to leave his kids. Okay, so he did that. So in the documentary, we're talking to the ex-wife and we talking to the kids, and the ex-wife, not that they think, they know in their hearts of heart that she has something to do with him missing. This man literally just went missing out of nowhere. So we go into the backstory of what happened there and how, there was at one point in time, this is why I say Carol, you like everybody else. When him and Carol first got together, he loved the cats and stuff like that. So they would, he would go to, I think, was it like I don't know if it was like one of the islands, Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo, some shit like that. Somewhere down in the islands, he would go and mess with the cats and stuff like that. And you've seen videos and stuff like that. We see home footage, video of Carol speaking, talking about how you make a business with cats and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what we see. But apparently, eventually, that became an issue for her because he started breeding the cats, and she did not like that. So, eventually, I guess she says that she started euthanizing the cats when they was coming through, and they had kind of got into it over that. Now, from everybody else's standpoint, right around the time that he went missing, they wasn't getting along. He was going around telling people that he was going to get a divorce from her. The day before he disappeared, he handed his secretary, who I don't believe she has shit to do with him missing, handed him a fucking envelope, and inside the envelope, it was a restraining order that he had tried to get against Carol, but it was denied because she never actually did anything. In the report, it says, that she threatened to kill him and all this other stuff, but because nothing really happened, there was nothing that the court could do. Very next day, he said he was going to, I think, Miami or something like that to go and do something with the cats. This man never showed up. And ever since then, we don't know where he is. We don't know where he is. And if that wasn't shady enough, okay, when it comes to the will and stuff like that, okay, I'm telling you, it get deep, y'all, get deep. So when it comes to the will, all right, first of all, right after literally 5 years, because I guess it's officially after 5 years you can have somebody declared as dead. So after 5 years in a day, Carol went down to wherever and got him pronounced legally dead. But I don't know if this is before or after, but during the mix of this, okay, it was a whole thing about the will. Now the secretary had the will, and she said that she was the one that was on there, that she was the power of attorney on that damn will. And the reason I do believe her is because you guys got to remember, this is not like a few years ago. This is like back in the day, like the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, where the relationship was a little bit more different between boss and secretary. So I could see how that I believe her when she says that. But she said that during the mix of this, so she brought that up, but she says that there was a point in time where she gets like an alert or whatever saying that there was somebody trying to break into the office that she worked into, which they did, and it was Carol and it was her brother who broke in to the who broke into the, I don't know if it was her brother, but Carol broke into the place or whatever to try to get some paperwork. What paperwork was that? It was the fucking will. Now, when the police come, they couldn't tell her to leave because that is his wife, right? So she can't fucking leave. She took what she got and she left. The next time they seen that damn will, it said her name was in that. And not only did that, this is the part I know she's full of shit. It said in case of disappearance. Like everybody said, who the fuck puts in their will in case of disappearance? You said in case of death. In case, I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. In case, I can't make decisions for myself, but it specifically said for disappearance. Girl, you know what you did. You did that. And then not only that, Carol, when they're talking to her, want to make it seem like she did the kids a favor, talking about something. Oh, I could have left them out because he didn't have a good relationship with them, but I left something in. And like they said, when they asked the kids, we was left less than 10%. How are you trying to do right by this man and you left his kids less than 10%? Let me tell you something. What would have been you doing the right thing? Is you splitting that shit all the way across the fucking board? Or if you would have really wanted to be fair, let's just say you felt like it really was a lot of yours. What you should have did was then 50 down the line. You take your 50%, and then the other two kids could have split that 50. So it could have been 25, 25. And if they went to share with their mama, split it 3 ways that way. But for you to sit up here and say, oh, I did them a favor. Bitch, you ain't do nobody a favor. Bitch, I know that you had something to do with that man, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because I ain't trying to get sued by you, allegedly. And the main reason why I really believe it is because of the husband that you have now. The husband you have now is submissive as fuck, okay? And the documentary purposely showed that damn picture of him being on the ground and having that damn thing around his neck and you holding it. I peeped the imagery. Shout out to you, Netflix. But I believe that she definitely has something to do with his prayer. Oh, I just don't know where he went. Oh, I just don't know. I mean, he used to go all the way all the time. Because what she was trying to paint the picture is, because, they said he had many different girlfriends and he had a girlfriend down in the islands. So in her head, she probably always tried to spin it like, oh, he just got up and he left or whatever. And he went to where he went to and he flew over the Gulf a lot of times under the radar. So we would have never been able to find him. Girl, that's just what you want us to believe. That's just what you want us to believe. Okay? So that's that with Carol's relationship. Do you see how deep it's fucking getting here? So we're dealing with the inner workings of that. So pretty much, this is spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. All of this is, but this part specifically, spoiler alert. Joe Exotic ends up going to jail because of the fact that, well, he got like 5 counts of the fact that he euthanized his damn lions and tigers without doing it the right way. Because they told us in the documentary that almost, I think up to like not even 6 months can you use like a cub before you can't use them no more. And they found like 5 in his backyard that was like buried, dead, shot in damn head. So that's that. But he was all mostly taken down because of the fact that he tried to get Carol killed. The amount of, he was really trying to get that woman the fuck up out of here. It's not funny, but he really was like, he was antagonizing the fuck out of her. He was like, he took like her symbol and her logo so that everything could be, web traffic could be redirected back towards him. But then when it came to the whole killing thing, he would tell everybody that wanted to listen that he wanted that woman dead. But what the issue came in is when the feds started to hear a little whisper. And who did that come from? That came from, I can't even think of his name right now, but I'm gonna put his little picture up. And I'm gonna take it off because I don't care no more. But him, actually, I ain't gonna put no picture up because I don't even feel like editing this video. But y'all know the guy I'm talking about, the big fat white guy, whatever, who had the monkey. This man literally told, because the feds was gonna come in and take his lemur. So he said, you know what? I'm just gonna tell on every damn body. Now the way he comes into play is because you got him and you got another guy named Jeff. These two people are they invested into Joe Exotic Zoo after Joe lost a lawsuit to Carol about like defamation and all of this other shit. So he needed more money. So these two people come in, they put down the money. Okay. Jeff is just full of shit, and I don't know how the hell Jeff is not in jail. But Jeff pretty much made it seem like to Joe and to everybody that he had all this money when he really had nothing at all. He had absolutely nothing at all, for real. So whenever he came into the situation, so again, those are the two people. So the way that Joe ended in jail is because Joe was talking to Jeff and another guy, let's call him Paul, because Jeff hired Paul, so we're gonna call him Paul. And was talking to them about possibly killing Carol. and what it is that they would do. The fat white guy pretty much takes this information and brings it to the feds. The feds is pretty much doing everything it is in their power that they can do to kind of bring Joe down for this. Now there's a lot of different things that they tried to do there. They tried to send in the undercover person. He talked to them, but there was no cash like payment made, so they couldn't get him on that. Eventually they ended up getting him because the guy Paul eventually admits to the fact that he was paid $3,000 by Joe to go and try to kill Carol. But he wasn't gonna really kill her. He was gonna get the other half when he was done, but he wasn't gonna really kill her. He just took the money and he left, which he did. He took the money and left. Where Jeff comes into play is that, and even Paul said this, and the fat white guy said this, is the fact that when it came to the whole plot of exactly how they was gonna kill Carol, that was Jeff's idea. That was Jeff's idea. Period. Jeff had got into a lot of shit over there in Vegas, and if he would have got caught up again, that would have been his ass. So pretty much what Jeff did is Jeff sold everybody up the fucking river so that he could pretty much be free. I have no fucking idea. And like the campaign manager said, and I believe it's 1,010%, Joe Exotic was low-key set the fuck up. Yes, he definitely had a hand in everything it is that he did, but he should have not been the only person to go to jail. Jeff should have went to jail. Paul should have went to fucking jail, and the fat white guy should have went to jail too. Everybody in the situation should have went to fucking jail. And that's what I will say is the injustice of all of this shit. It really shows the flaw in the fucking criminal system that y'all are really willing and ready to give everybody the fuck off just to get one motherfucking person. And that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my damn life. Now did the same motherfucking thing when it came to 6ix9ine. Y'all literally, well, no. Well, kinda, yeah, y'all kinda did. Y'all let this little nigga off the hook after everything he did. He did shit that was way worse than a lot of people that he even told on. But it doesn't matter because y'all just want the fucking look, right? Y'all just want the look. And I hope after this shit come out that the public pressure is on y'all to take down Jeff because he don't fucking need to be out. And to take down this other little fat white guy because he don't need to be the fuck out. And to take fucking Carol down. Take Carol's ass down too. Because at the end of the day, what this documentary shows is that everybody, it's like the Spider-Man meme. Everybody's pointing at each other. That's what it is. It's that everybody's pointing at each other. That's what it is. That's all it is. Because everybody in the situation is fucking wrong. Like I said, at the end of the day, this didn't help no fucking body. Shout out to the person who got their damn arm chomped the fuck off by the damn tiger just because she wanted to be a good fucking worker. Like she said, nobody fucking wins. Because at the end of the day, the fucking tigers and the cat and the big cats, period, they did not win. Where do they win? They get no type of fucking win in this situation. But y'all, what y'all not gonna do, even though Joe Exotic is crazy, even though Joe Exotic has an issue, even though Joe Exotic has a lot of mental things and emotional things he needs to work through, we need to get it the fuck fixed and he needs to fucking go to jail. I'm out, y'all. He's knocking on the door. Bye.